Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Leeds View for a deal agreement live stream, as we've tended to do over the course of this summer, and we'll continue to do so until Leeds finish their business. Not a done deal. It's not a done deal. There's a lot of dominoes still to fall before this one gets done and over the line. I hope you're all having a really good evening. I don't think we saw this one coming, but that's been the pattern for a while. We did see here Michael Zetterer be no, Rafinha is not back at Leeds United. No, he's not. Yes, we'll get to Brendy as well before we wrap that up. I'll just make a note of that. Yep. Thanks to Jody, Pierre, and Danny Rumsey for letting me know about that. We'll get your chat as well. We'll have a quick chat towards the back end of this as well. Michael Zetterer, Steve says he's never heard of this goalkeeper, which means Steve doesn't watch the news every day, because we did speak about Michael Zetterer. I have to go back. I'm going to have to go back because I think it was the back end of last week, or there it is there. Yeah, so at the start of the week, Leeds were rumoured to have made an inquiry about Michael Zetterer. He was said to be on a list of 5 or 6 goalkeepers for Leeds at that moment in time. He's a 31-year-old German goalkeeper currently playing at Eintracht Frankfurt. He only joined Frankfurt in August as their backup goalkeeper, became their number one in very similar circumstances to how Carl Darlow became Leeds United's number one last season. There were several outlets that linked him. This is why we do the rumour mill, by the way, because the outlets that linked Zetterer to Leeds were Absolute Fußball in Germany, Yahoo Sport, and Sport 1. They're all the ones that linked him to Leeds. Now, what we should point out is that the price tag at that moment on time looks like it's significantly more than Leeds are actually paying. They were quoted as saying Frankfurt wanted £16 million for him. There's a rumor going around that Leeds have maybe paid £5 million for Zetterer. That hasn't been confirmed. Most agencies and most news outlets are not quoting any price right now, because this is not a done deal. There is still work to be done, and you're not likely to see him in a Leeds jersey for a bit yet, which has been in keeping with how the summer has been going. Sport 1 at the start of the week basically claimed that Leeds United had interest in Zetterer as their backup goalkeeper. Kicker also had a piece out about Zetterer and Leeds United as one of the clubs that were interested in him. Frankfurt wanted a attractive fee earlier in the week. They don't appear to have gotten that attractive fee, but they were on the lookout for a first choice goalkeeper anyway. And that's still the case coming in to today with this transfer being agreed. So what we know and what's come out from Baron Cross in the Athletic, I'll get the piece up here as well so we can have a bit of a natter about that as well, is that Leeds United are close to an agreement, or agreed a deal in principle. That's how we're going to word it. It's a deal agreed in principle, nothing signed yet. It's a deal agreed in principle for Eintracht goalkeeper Michael Zetterer. He's a 31-year-old German goalkeeper, as I said, and Leeds are closing in on signing number 5 of the season. And again, it's signing number 5, closing in on it, because it's not a done deal. The agreement's in principle, which is the language that's being used in all the media outlets today. Lucas Perry will now be allowed to leave Leeds finally. I think we have Lucas Perry hostage in a cage somewhere in the back of Thorpe Arch, that he's not allowed to go until, everything else is sorted out for Leeds. But he will be allowed to go. Leeds wanted a backup as well, and he's also said to have a knock. He did make 22 appearances last season in the Bundesliga as Zetterer, even though Frankfurt brought him in from Werder Bremen as the backup goalkeeper. He still managed 22 appearances, kept 6 clean sheets as well. And he's an interesting profile of goalkeeper. If you look him up on FotMob and a few others, it has down like his weaknesses are prone to errors. I haven't seen that really when I've looked into him in more detail. But what he is very much a sweeper goalkeeper. He's not what you would call a dominant goalkeeper in terms of his size. He's only 6'2" in height. Well, only 6'2" in height, still a big lad, but he is 6'2" in height. He is more comfortable with the ball at his feet, though. He's very much a ball playing goalkeeper, comfortable in that, very quick off his line, very good reactions. And if you look at his heat map, we'll show you some details on him in a couple of seconds. If you look at his heat map, he's very much a sweeper keeper. He covers a lot of area around the outside of his penalty areas, is off his line quite an awful lot as well. He was capped at under 20, under 21 level for Germany. Didn't get any senior caps as far as I'm aware. But he does come in. He said there's a big part to this, by the way. 3 or 4 reports from the German outlets that I've read up on tonight about this have all said Zetterer carries a real presence in the dressing room and is the kind of person you want to have around the dressing room. So that's another person adding to the long list, an ever-growing list that Leeds are bringing in of players in the dressing room with leadership qualities as well, and a very mature presence in the dressing room. He started off his career, he is German, but started off his senior career playing in the Eredivisie. He played 34 times for PEC Zwolle. And then he moved to Werder Bremen, 79 appearances for them. In and out of their first team, sometimes was first choice, sometimes was backup, rotated around a fair bit as well. Then he joined Frankfurt, and as I say, he still clocked up 22 appearances in the first team last season for Frankfurt. Now, Frankfurt weren't happy with their goalkeeper, Santos. He was, I get his full name here, Kaua Santos was their first choice goalkeeper last season. They brought in Zetterer. Santos lost form. Zetterer replaced him in the side. And that happened again. And they're looking in preseason. He was part of their side that got beaten 7-1, not Zetterer. Santos was the goalkeeper when they got beaten 7 by Brentford. I think it was 7-0 or 7-1. So at that point, they made a decision. Santos was not going to be their first choice goalkeeper next season. So they're looking for a new goalkeeper. Now, the reason this is not a done deal right now, and it's still a deal in principle that's being agreed, is Frankfurt will not let the goalkeeper leave unless they get a replacement in for him. So a similar situation with Lucas Perry and Leeds and James Trafford. They're rumoured to be after a goalkeeper called Noah Atubola, who plays for SC Freiburg. We're now back into crossing streams with some clubs we've dealt with already this summer. Marseille are also looking at him as a potential goalkeeper as well. So you're in dominoes falling territory right now, and the hope is that these fall pretty quickly and Zetterer will end up coming to Leeds. But you're not likely to see him on a plane tomorrow morning heading to Leeds for medical. You're not likely to see him on a plane over the weekend coming for medical unless Leeds sweeten this deal just a little bit. But he will be. I just saw a comment there about Robin Cook. We're not going to get into it. We're not doing this, lads. We're not doing this. But yeah, Zetterer will be on his way once they get a backup goalkeeper. And again, poor Lucas Perry's been listed as he can go now. He's had a bit of a knock, but Leeds wanted a backup before they agreed to let him go. So the pecking order will be James Trafford, Michael Zetterer, Alex Cairns. And then hopefully for Rory Mahadi, he gets out on loan this summer as well and gets a fair amount of minutes under his belt as well. So another one coming in, what The Athletic are saying, this comes from Sebastian Stafford, Bloor and Baron Cross. Leeds United are close to reaching an agreement in principle. Sky Sports have said Leeds have reached a deal in principle. So a couple of letters off being bang on the money there. The Premier League side have been in the market for an understudy for James Trafford since securing the record deal for the England international. Zetterer, 31, would be United's backup stopper if the two clubs can find an agreement. Sources at Ellen Road, speaking anonymously to protect relationship, expect Frankfurt would need to secure a new goalkeeper before they sanction the German's departure. Zetterer arrival would also allow Leeds to waive through an exit for Lucas Perry, who has 1 year left. 1 year after arriving from Lyon as Leeds' first choice keeper, would otherwise spend much of next term on United's bench. Perry, 29, has attracted interest from European clubs. Frankfurt only signed Zetterer themselves in August 20th last year. In his one season at the Bundesliga club, he made 22 league appearances, kept 6 clean sheets. He also started 5 games in the Champions League as well. So he's not a mug coming into the club at all. As it stands, Trafford is backed up by Alex Cairns as the goalkeeping department. Blah, blah, blah. Carl Darlow, that lot across the way. Zetterer, who also played in the Netherlands, a former German youth international. He has not, however, ever represented Germany at senior level. Grant, that's not done. Zetterer is a stable, highly experienced goalkeeper. He was signed by Eintracht Frankfurt a year ago to deputy for Santos, a precarious young Brazilian goalkeeper with enormous talent. They're replacing him this summer. Where have we heard that before? A succession of difficult moments for Santos lost confidence. However, Zetterer ultimately ended up the season as the first choice goalkeeper and a very safe pair of hands. Zetterer will need to overcome a lot in his career. Serious hand and wrist injuries early in his career at Werder Bremen cost him almost 2 years of playing football, but has recovered in the years since. The German has been successful in grinding his way through various loan spells abroad and eventually made his way back to the Bundesliga, where he joined Werder Bremen as the first choice. Technically, he's a typical modern goalkeeper. He's not the tallest or the most physically imposing. He is good with his feet, quick off his line, and equipped with a fine set of reflexes. Zetterer is often held up as a strong personality and a very good goalkeeper, but also someone clubs like to have in their dressing room. There you go. That's all been backed up pretty much by everyone. And Big Up, by the way, is under work. So we're doing the watch along on YouTube on Saturday, by the way, but we will be back on Big Up. It says the fall, which is the American for autumn. So we'll see. But there you go. Agreement in principle, according to Sky. About to agree in principle, according to The Athletic. Not a done deal. Still a bit of work to do before this gets over the line and is finished. So yeah, that looks like Leeds are going to make that move for that second goalkeeper. Linked again, as I say, by Kicker, Sport 1, Foosball crowd. What were they called again? I hate not getting the names of these people right. That's Nick Olvetti. I've got too many notes. There we go. Sport 1. Absolute foosball and Yahoo Sport. There you go. They're the ones that have linked them. We'll jump into a couple of comments, see how everyone is getting on. Michael Brown, Jer, I watched the Roaring Peacock podcast earlier this evening, and Adonis said he will be a regular on your YouTube. Yes, he will. Adonis will be on a Wednesday with Andrea Russo as part of our Wider View podcast, and then Paul and Jerry will be on our match review or match view stream podcast on a Monday. So Paul and Jerry are always on the Monday. They stay there. No changes there at all. Adonis and Andrea will join us Wednesday for a kind of a more media-focused view of what's going on at Leeds United. Y'all stop hating on the terror from... Okay, that's going to go away. Don't be a dick in the comments. I'll just ban you. Faye says, is he Peter's brother? Peter says there signed Glory of Love in the 1980s. Spears says there'll be low offers for Perry if any come in. Apparently it's already been agreed. It's just a case of he's got a bit of a knock and Leeds wanted a backup. So I believe it's along with the option to buy being 14 million pounds or euros. We'll see. He's a boy amongst men. He always will. Okay, we're having a go at him. Why are we getting into talking about Brendan Aronson, lads? We're talking about a goalkeeper here. Stay on point, lads. Pierce says, it amazes me that any person would actively accept the backup place. Well, some people know where they are, and if he wants to play in the Premier League, he'll get some games. And look, an injury to James Trafford, and he's the first choice goalkeeper. Some people do back themselves. Big difference in Premier League wages. Yeah, absolutely. Someone has to be a backup. Steve says, I wouldn't mind that kind of promotion job. Yeah. What, you'd be a millionaire? Awesome. Good evening, Liam. Good evening to Lee. Rafita's not back. Danny says, big cheer and congratulations, Brendy. Yeah, Brendy got a brand new 3-year contract. Congratulations, Brendan. Been good in pre-season so far. Brendy, new deal. Yep, absolutely. Jody, sorry. Sarah, hello. Aronson contract renewal, absolutely good. Being led to booze to numb it. Stop, will you, Mike? God's sake. Anto Gartner says, how are you, Jer? How is it going, Anto? Steve says, never heard of the goalkeeper. And you go, he seems to be a decent backup. That's what he's coming in as. That's the extent of it. Leeds moving quickly. Evening, all. Good to finally catch a live. Good to see you here as well. Can we stop having the pop of Brendan in the chat, lads? I mean, seriously. What's the point? He had a good season last year, and he's had a good preseason this year. He's part of a rotational option in the squad. Here we go. Faye says, you're watching live, first time in Dog's Age. I know we don't do a huge amount of lives, just these kind of ones. The lap would thrive at Leeds United, £20 million. He's their value on at 50. So unless that comes down, you're not going to see that one happening. Lee said, I'm hoping Leeds give Metch a new 3-year contract. Just abandon the Square Ball podcast for this one. Well, fair enough. I mean, they're the OGs. Hello from Lee County, Virginia. Good afternoon, David. I hope you're well. I feel better if we had a left back in before the season starts. I think we will. But I do think you have to just bring in the signings as and when they're available, so you don't get everyone in the order that you would like them. I'm going to ignore the Brendan Aronson chat. If you're commenting on Brendan Aronson, it's just not going to be seen. I remember you talking about him on the Daily News. Yeah, start of the week, Face. Start of the week. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to wade through the chat now because of some of the comments. I mean, why bother? Yeah, thanks for this, lads. I'm going to really have to go digging for comments now because of some of the crap that's in this. Yeah, we're going to skip it. I'm going to skip it all. Big shout out to Mark for his membership. 10 months as member now, Mark. Congratulations, well done. Brand new sub and liked from Tim. Thanks for that as well. Jer, what do you make of the third kit? Like it? Would love the Red Bull logo to be in silver. Then I would really like it. But in general, yeah. Brandy's new deal. 700 watching, 170 likes. Pay the rent. If you can like it if you want it. It costs you nothing. Takes you 2 seconds. Click the little thumbs up button. And it does help me out a huge amount as well. Do you reckon there's anything in Metja going to Wrexham? I reckon there's something in Wrexham having a sniff around Metja. Whether Leeds would accept it or not, I would be very skeptical of that. I don't see that happening at all. Yeah, again, I'm going to skip through the Brendan Aronson stuff. We're not here to talk about Brendan Aronson. No one's talking about Brendan Aronson. So if you're giving out about Brendan Aronson in the chat, you've done a very successful job of winding yourself up tonight. So I don't know why you bother. Pai Zhao deal is dead. Yeah, it looks like he's heading off to Saudi Arabia. How much do we have without sales? Oh, how long is a piece of string, Liam? Because Depending on SCR, Leeds have spent roughly 80 million. You can add 5 to that potentially for this as well. They've brought in about 25. So net, you're looking at 50, 60 million, but that's not how it works anymore because that'll be spread out over 5 years or then amortization and everything else. So we'll have to see. Libs, thanks very much. Really appreciate it. What do I think of the Delap news? I mean, Liam Delap's a decent player. I think he's had a bad time of it at Chelsea, but then how many number 9s have gone to Chelsea and had a bad time of it? More often than not, it happens. Do I think he's worth 50 million? Not on your life. I think if you're going to value something, I mean, you don't buy a car and then 3 years after having that car, sell it for more money, unless it's an absolute vintage car that's hard to get. Liam Delap is not that. He had a poor year last year. They bought him for 35. They're trying to sell him for 50. So unless you get him down on that, no. And also, I don't necessarily think he is direct competition for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think he's probably too much money, but that's the one for me. Who's next? Says Sam. Well, we'll see. We'll have to see, Sam, won't we? And the fingers crossed, it's someone for the starting 11. That's Helvetia now. Hopefully, if Zetterer does get done, that's two of the bench options fixed there as well. So it'll be interesting to see. And we are building a very good squad. We're building a strong squad now. A lot of the chat from Championship let go. And they let go with our thanks and our praise, by the way, for everything that they did for Leeds to get Leeds out of the Championship and back into the Premier League. So happy with that. On strikers, what happened to Fulham guy we were talking about last year? Very injury hit year. He didn't play a huge amount of football. I think Leeds would like him to probably go back into it again. Michael Brown says, Jer, great to see you pop up on Matty's Dublin vlog. Did I? Go and look at that. I haven't seen it yet. It looked like you were in the Camden talking to other Leeds supporters. Yeah, me and Matty were there as well. I went to see Matty and a couple of the lads there. So we had a great time. Hope we don't let Metro go if DCL gets knocked. And that's why I probably don't think he does go. I think Leeds will be very careful about making sure, and they have been this summer. They've been very careful making sure they've got players in before they let anybody go out. You get the feeling Peru went because someone else is on its way in. I can hardly see them letting their second striker go before they get a proper goalkeeper in. So yeah, for me, I don't see it. Bunny IP Farmer, g'day Jer. Keeper deal had to happen before this weekend. Backline huge. Yeah, but I don't think he'll be in before the weekend. Next week, maybe, but I don't think Zetterer not. I don't think he's going to be. It's only a deal in principle. Still a lot of work to do on that deal before it's deal done or done deal, which is why we do these streams as a breakup. We talk about the agreement first, and then we go in and talk about when it's a done deal and he's in a Leeds United shirt. But there's a bit of work to do on this, as well. Joe Felix last year of his contract. What's his goal ratio like? Because Joe Felix was going to be the next big thing, and then kind of wasn't. So I don't know. Great show as always. Respect. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you, mate. As always. Look at the 9s who left Chelsea. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? The jersey's cursed at Chelsea with that as well. But you're not paying that kind of money. I mean, if Liam Delap was available for 25 million, 20 million quid, yeah, I'd say, yeah, go get him because, he's only going to get better as he gets older. And hey, he might even rock up with an Ireland jersey at some point. He'd be brilliant then, wouldn't he? But yeah, there's he has time, but I mean, I wouldn't be paying the money Chelsea are looking for. I think it's mad, being honest. We could sell Mecha and get his brother instead. Felix, good luck. Absolutely good luck in getting Felix Mecha. If he doesn't end up at an Arsenal or Liverpool or a Man City, I'd be shocked. Quality player. Very, very good. I think contract extensions are worth celebrating. I think you're dead right as well. I think Leeds have locking down their squad. And they're making sure they've got a decent squad. So, yeah, no problem for me at all there. Hope Mecha stays. This is the thing about Lucas Mecha. If you judge Lucas Mecha on his hold to play, he's not a player you'll love. If you judge Lucas Mecha on his finishing, you look at his goals per minute ratio. My God, he's got a fantastic goals per minute ratio. So, Sarah says what everyone is thinking. I hope Mecha isn't. I've only had one person say sell him in the comments. So, I don't know. I take the lap of 25 million tops. Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, Thunder Rocket. I would absolutely agree with that as well. Kind of think we could have sorted number 2 keeper on a free. Well, let's see how much this one comes for. I mean, what did we pay for Darlow? 4 million? Or was it less than that again? It was like 400,000. I don't know. I can't remember. Someone will remind me of that. Thank you for the super chat, the official Zoom. Thoughts on Michael Noonan for the future? Are we talking Fine Gael's Michael Noonan? I don't know who Michael Noonan is. Should I know who Michael Noonan is? You're going to have to come back to me on that, mate. Shane Kavanagh, who's next? Listen, don't ever judge a player being linked with Leeds on what they've done at another club. Don't do it. I mean, Ethan Ampadu has been mentioned in the chat as being one as well. Don't do it yourself. Just, I think it's safe to look at the fee and go, that's mad. Oh. Yeah. Jay writes, silence from Leeds United like a swan. Yeah, we said this today on the news. It's very quiet. There's no one being linked, and then boom. There you go. Any news on Tati? Well, David, there was never any news on Tati at all. This is like me yesterday saying I wouldn't say no to Jack Grealish on a sneaky loan, then everyone thinking I've got some in the know kind of information and I'm throwing it out there, which I don't, and I wasn't. I know nothing about anything. So, yeah, I'd like Tati Castellanos. I think he'd suit Leeds United perfectly. Is he a bit of a fruitcake? Can he get cards? Yeah, he can. Is he a very good striker? From what I saw last year at West Ham in the Premier League, yeah, I think he'd suit us, but I don't know. If we'll get him, I don't think we're after him, and I can't see West Ham letting him go because they brought in loads of money this summer, so they don't have to sell too many more. Cy Leeds says, this has been one of the best transfer runners I can remember. Yeah, but just systematically just kind of going about our business and ticking all the boxes as we go along. I mean, Daniel Farke in his press conference today, it's the most swagger I've seen Daniel Farke with in a very long time. An incredibly confident press conference. I really enjoyed it. I like this version of Daniel Farke. A lot of confidence, was being very direct with people. So he's clearly happy what's going on in the background. So great, yeah. Just keep going about your business. What about Taddy? Exactly. Joanne says, really pleased with the business done so far. The grown-ups are finally in charge. Does it not make you all a little bit uneasy knowing how calm things are around Leeds United? It's that bit of a tsunami where the ocean just gradually retreats and you're like, that can't be good. Everything's very still right now. When is the wave coming? Probably never. Would love Tati as well. Yeah, I think he isn't on the list. I don't think he is on the list. No, I don't. But I wouldn't say no to him. You got to think one out, one in regarding Pierre. Yeah, that's where I am phased. I'm thinking that as well. I could be completely wrong. Wouldn't be like me. Metcha needs to go and improve. Our front line, we need better than DCL. Well, here's the thing on Metcha, right? You're talking about a £10 million replacement for a player that had double digits G&A last season in his first year as a backup in the Premier League, right? And again, if you look at his goals per minute, he had the best goals per minute in the Premier League last season. Do you get a player that can do that for less than that 10 million quid that you could potentially bring in for him? Or 15 if it's 10 or 15. I don't think you can. So I don't know. Jake says, great to catch you live, Jer. Thank you for the help at OK Jersey a couple of weeks ago. Away top arrived. All good. Good stuff for you. Wooly White said, would have preferred a young goalie from Zetterstrom. Yeah. Well, look, this isn't over the line just yet, so you never know what will happen. I did read something today that said that there was a clause in Zetterstrom's contract that meant it might be trickier to get a deal done for him. So maybe this is the right one to do right now. Nanto and Groove injured, staying difficult to pass a medical. I don't think Willie Nanto is going to go anywhere, and I wouldn't be in a rush to sell Willie Nanto. I think he's looked really good in preseason. Heard him being interviewed again during the States start. I think he's just growing up every time I've heard him speak, and he's getting more and more mature. So I don't think you need to sell him at all. Jared, how many more signings do you think Leeds need and want? The different things, aren't they? Need a left back cover and need a striker. I would also argue we probably need another wide inside forward type player, 10 winger inside forward type. Because if you get an injury to Okafor and Wilson, you're back to what you had last season, and then your floor is not raising there. So that's what I would like. I think Leeds will probably do 2 or 3 more. In fact, I might have let it slip today a little bit when he said 3, but there's one in the door if Zetterstrom does actually come in. From here, this is David Gee says, from here, prep looks good, squad now good for 14th or better. Additions pushes up the table. I would agree with that. Leeds 58690 says, don't forget the lap didn't just fall at you. Well, that's true. Yeah, he was also awful Preston and stuff, but very good at Ipswich. So maybe it's a style thing. Along with an obligation would be good, along with an option. Let's learn from ourselves here, I think, as well. Just been watching Harry Gray versus Bradford. He's doing okay. Okay is the term, yeah. Give him time. He was decent in the first game. Was taken off at 60 minutes. So he needs games, he needs minutes, he needs time. This is all about development for him. Indeed, Bowie Doctor, if Nanto gets injured, he probably stays. I think he stays anyway. Any news on Max Aarons? No, I think it was a kite floater. I think it was just thrown out there to see if there was genuinely anyone who would take him as a backup option. I don't know. I mean, he'd be third choice, wouldn't he? Because if James Justin's on the bench and Bogle and Goodmunson are starting, and either of those two get injured and Justin comes in as the obvious replacement straight away, you need both fullbacks to be injured before you get a game. So Yeah, I don't know. Sarah says, I think he's done really well. Fitted right in. It'd be silly for him to go. I would agree with you on that as well. Lucas on Mecha says, Lucas on Mecha. Sorry, Lucas. Mecha on the ball when dribbling is better than DCL, but DCL's hold up play is top and essential to how we play. But having Mecha as a different player off the bench is key. I agree. Exactly. That's it. Different players, different profiles. Important to have both. And ironically enough, I think when Leeds did play both of them together in that game against Chelsea, I think we played them together twice last season as a striking partnership, not with Mecha on the left-hand side. And I think when they did play both of them together, they looked like a proper cracking pair of strikers for me. They complement each other very well. So I don't know. Get keeper Joe Robles back. What about Marmouche at City? Did he not? No, it's Rangers has gone to not the Saudi, I think. So no, maybe not. Lap on a loan. I like the look of that lad from Norwich. Yeah, Jerry McNamee pointed him out last year as well, actually, funnily enough. Is Sam Byram still in the squad? Sam Byram, I believe, is still training at Thorpe Arch. He hasn't signed a new deal. The club, there is one on the table for him, so I don't know. The lap loan, only risk of wasting 40 million. Yeah, get him on loan, see how it goes with an option. Doesn't work, you send him back. Job done. See how we go. Stick in there, my mucker. Lots of spoilers at the moment. They must be trolling off forever, I bet. Yeah, oh, well, look, that's the summer, isn't it? Baron said today the Peugeot is still on their list. Maybe that's who he was talking about come the end of the window. All of a sudden, that number drops. And I think Leeds are doing a smart bit of business there. If that is the case, what Leeds are doing, just sit back and wait for Marseille to go into financial melt and then go, I'll give you a tenner. He's the Allies. You know what I mean? Feels like the window will go down to deadline for a cheeky last minute deal. Now, our track record of cheeky last minute deals isn't great. Rafinha being the obvious exception to the rule. But the rule is still there. It's not been brilliant by Leeds. So I don't know. Lord thinks Byron's gone. Well, he has been seen at Thorpe Arch. I can tell you that for a fact. But we'll see. Sarah says you can't be smiling like that, Jer, while saying, no. This is the thing. I can't say anything. So someone said it on Extra Day ago, my favorite ITK. And I went, I'm not an ITK. I'm not a journalist. I'm not in the know. I just talk about stuff on aggregate news. That's it. Full stop. That's the end of it. And the response I got was, oh, well, then you keep your secrets then. Like, I don't have any secrets. And you're doing the same thing now as well. It's funny, but yeah, no. Paul says it's good news with Joe Road on Jane Bogle. Brendan signed a new long-term contract. Big Lucas is staying. Yeah, I like the fact that Leeds are just making sure the squad is there. And look, whatever about Brendan Aronson, what people think about him, if Brendan ends up on the bench next season and you end up with Wilson and Okafor, the floor is still being raised there, And Brendan Aronson off the bench, with the amount of energy and tempo he brings to a game, could have a big impact off the bench. I mean, you need squad. You need a squad of players. You need players that are okay to be rotated around. So I don't have any problem what Leeds are doing right now. If Everton want to be 40 million, do us a favour. Yeah, we have looked a solid squad, unlike Chelsea type, who are a bunch. But we don't know what the dressing rooms like in these clubs either, do we? We really don't. John Charles, big man. Hi, Jer. Great news regarding the signings. If Farke thinks the lap would improve, don't start pointing the finger at Daniel Farke because there's rumours out there about Liam Delap. It's not necessarily even the case that it's true. Eze has to be available, slipping down the pecking order at Arsenal. I mean, wouldn't you bite your hand off for him? Wouldn't you? Yeah. Young Irish player, I think, Jerry Shamrock. Oh, that's the guy, Michael Noonan. Okay, yeah. A couple other to keep an eye on. Jerry McDermott has been keeping me up to date on another similar name to a celebrity. Ronan Keating in Galway is one to keep an eye on as well. So, and again, Ronan Keating, there's so many puns come off the back of that. Plays for Rovers, great stuff. I'm miles behind in the chat. Michael Brown says, not sure how Leeds can keep everyone happy. They don't have to. This is where the players need to buy into being part of a squad and competing for positions and proving that they should be in the squad and putting pressure on the players that are already in there. And that's where they've got to toughen up and really go for it. You look at the squads around the top half of the Premier League, big squads, much bigger than Leeds. And, got to figure it out, Incomings is at an 8 out of 10. Outgoings at a 1 out of 10. Funnily enough, the outgoings really aren't our problem, though. That's the finance team's problem. As long as the money adds up and Leeds get what they need in the team, not our problem just right now. 22-man senior squad at the moment. I think Reece Chadwick will be part of that team next season as well. I think Callum Mills will be knocking around. And also, Leeds turned down a loan offer for Alfie Creswell. So they're all in and around that senior squad there as well. Stop it, Liam. Stop it. I think the 49ers have answered Daniel Farke's comments. They have. I think they definitely have. And he plays on the tarmac. Here, now stop that. We're not doing that this year. No planes on tarmacs. Have everything lined up, ready to go for deadline day. No new bids on deadline day. I'd be very happy with that. West Ham podcast are reporting Tati to Leeds. What West Ham podcast and when? And at the rate that I'm getting through these comments, Johnny, I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Young keeper will learn from Trafford. Loving the transfer silence. They bear the best results. Sort of thought Fleming might still make a surprise appearance. I mean, you might, yeah. Not exactly what you call a young player, is Ian Fleming. He's what, 28 now? So he's in his peak years. Did score double digits in the Premier League last season. So, there is that. Leeds United, the stealth fighter of the Premier League transfer market. Farke's press conference was wonderful. He did a good job of putting everything. Yeah, and do you know what? I was talking to Joe Blackburn about this earlier on. I think he did a brilliant job of separating the two sets of expectation. For the players, keep your head down, your feet on the ground, be humble, get the job done, be focused on the 3 points in front of you, not the goal at the end of the season. That's the result of the 3 points. And then telling the fans, dream big, dream well. Like that. Like that as well. Tati Castellanos. He plays for West Ham United. Scored last season. Good few goals for them as well. Was good. Thank you for the super chat, Dave. Very much appreciated. Have you got a genuine pick of the third kit? They're all AI ones. Well, hang on a sec. It is already up on the socials, lads. It is on the socials. I'll throw it up here. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I've got to be careful with this. We will have stuff out in the morning as well. We'll have links for the jerseys for sale tomorrow. So I'll share this real quickly with you. Share screen, video, bump. There you go. There you go. That is the new Leeds United third kit. Now, if the Red Bull logo there was silver, this would be up there for me with the Kappa black shirt we had a few years ago. I really like that. It's got the Leeds 400 design in it as well from the city. Really like it. Don't love the Red Bull logo, but I understand that that's their commercial copy limit, their commercial corporate logo. So they're not going to change that for anybody. Yeah. Jerry, do you think that Ryan Manning could be... I mean, I wouldn't say no to Ryan Manning either. Another player that's got a whopper of a set piece on him. Pre-match trainings on LUTV. No sign of Metcha there. Interesting. Keep an eye on that one. Daniel Farke did say everyone was available except for Nonto and Gabby. We're Lounge United, you're enough annoyance for now. Do you know what? I'm joked about it on the news, but someone said me do a skit of this on TikTok, but I'm not a TikToker, so I can't do that. But basically it was, if you need a player and you don't have the finances, don't worry. Leeds United have got you covered. All you need to do is take the player on a 12-month loan period. And if you're not happy at the end of that 12 months, you can give them back, or you can manage your payments over a several-year period. That's who Leeds United are turning into. But yeah, again, doesn't matter as long as the finance team make it work. I still can't get my head around Parrot to Betis. He'll play. He'll play. And his Ireland career is very important to him as well. Hey, preacher, leave our match alone. I like that as well. That was Zetterer, Peter Zetterer. Loan watch this season will be a chore. You don't have to put it together. It takes me ages to do that part of the show. Hope you're not getting too greedy. Always get greedy, always. Kudos to Farke and his presser. He was impressive. He was. 8 out of 10 possible. 10, Joseph and Ramazani. Yeah, for everyone who keeps asking this question, by the way, Matteo Joseph has an ACL injury. You are not likely to see him involved in any kind of grass training till at least Christmas. He's probably out for the entire season. So that's the deal with Matteo Joseph. Yeah, there's so many comments. I'm just not going to get to them. We'll try and go backwards from a few. Leeds kits the last few seasons have been nice. I don't think the home kit has got the love that the second and third kits have gotten. And I'd love to see them really put... Since Aston FC's Peacock home jersey, I really don't think they put a huge amount of effort into it. I'd love to see a change next season. Record offer 5 million. But apparently, Arthur, it's anywhere between 10 and 15 million. And it was an inquiry more than anything else. Joseph won't be up to speed at all this season. No, he won't be. He won't be. I'll be shocked if he does. And how much has Metcha worth? Well, we got him for nothing. So anything's a bonus. If you were to sell him, I just wouldn't sell him. Needed this today and night. Good. I'm glad, David. Glad. Righty. Don't they realize the sales would be so much higher without the red? I mean, it's money on the table, isn't it? Like if you change that to silver, walks out the door. Same with the home kit. Change the blue, gone. But look, I worked for big corporations and I can tell you their brand is the very important one for them. I mean, look, I'm going to put it. I'll give the credit to the person that put this up as well, because this is what it would look like, by the way, in silver. I mean, that's cracking, isn't it? I really like that. And that is by Julian Fortuna on X. So, yeah, cracking looking kit. I still like it though, even with the red, but I would prefer it even more. Corpus, not Sean. Sean is balanced as ever. How are you doing, Sean? Michael Bud, do you realise half the squad speaks German together? Well, that'll help the coaching staff as well. Get their message across. Only have Carvalhoon left. The white SBO top. The very first season back in the Premier League. That was lovely. Very plain, but I like plain. So, yeah. Okafor can play as a striker, yeah. Now, that's why he left AC Milan, though, because he didn't want to play as a striker anymore. He wanted to play on the left-hand side. So, we'll have to see. Any truth in Bahia Twitter rumours? He's been mentioned on Wacko. I'll have to look into it in more detail. I haven't had a chance today. I've been up to my eyeballs with Mead FC stuff today, my other free job that I do. So, haven't got a chance to see enough rumour stuff today, but we'll get to it. Balance, that's a slot, mate. Has a knife balancing on the edge of a sink, mate. All three kits this season really good. Look, there's a lot of people like the home kit, and it's growing on a lot of people. It's not one I'll get. Just there's too much going on in it for me. But I do like. I bought the yellow kit, and I've got the. I might actually dip in and get that black kit as well. We'll have links for that tomorrow for Fanatics as well. Take my money on that one. I think it's great. Bahia is a serious player. I'll look into it. I'll get you some news in the morning on that. I'll ask around as well. Yeah, the other half speak Welsh or Celtic. Harry Gray is really being targeted in men's football. Listen, I was both a kid and a man playing football, and as a kid I got battered, and as a man I kicked kids around the place. So that's what you do. Anyway, folks, I think we'll wrap it up there. Massive thanks for joining me this evening. By the way, the opposition view with Nottingham Forest fan Rich from his podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you get your audio podcast feeds from. So if you want to check out that, you can do so. It's not going to be on YouTube. Might stick it on YouTube for members. I'll see how the first few weeks go. We took it down last year after the first episode because I brought a friend on who's an Everton fan to talk about it, and he just got abused. So I said, I'm not doing that again on YouTube. So we'll have to see where it goes. But Jer kicks kids backs. Just the ones I don't like, Sean. Just the ones I don't like. Anyway, go check that out on Spotify if you want. Outside that, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. There's a bit of news already starting to float around. What's going to be a busy couple of weeks for Leeds. Talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.